Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Brother Not Brother. And in today's video, we are going to be making, if you didn't already see it in the thumbnail, a 2-ingredient mozzarella cheese. Yeah, I saw this online and then I started seeing it on TikTok and everywhere else and I was like, okay, I gotta make it for myself because look at me. You can tell I love cheese. Just look at this kid. Cheese boy. So what you'll need to get started is some raw milk. If you can't find raw milk, I went to a local Amish market to find this guy, but you can get yours at like Ralph's or Aldi's or maybe Whole Foods or something like that. They may have some raw milk, or go with a pasteurized milk, but do not get ultra pasteurized milk because this just won't work as well or at all. So using pasteurized milk I've heard works, but if you can get it, raw milk works much better. So I have a half gallon here of raw milk. By the way, the recipe I'm using today, I found it online. It is from In the Kitchen with Matt. I'll have that linked down in the description of this video. But we're going to start with a large pot here and then just pour in the whole thing. There we go. And then we're going to turn our heat on. Mine goes up to about a 9. It's like 1 to 9. And so this is like just below the 50% at like a medium, just above medium low, medium, just below medium. There you go. So it's a 4. And then we need to make sure we're constantly stirring it the whole time until it reaches 115 degrees. So I got my little temperature probe here. We can see right now we're starting at an ice cold 54 degrees. It looks like we've reached our 115 degrees here. That's perfect. Now is time for our second ingredient. We have 7 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar. That's a little less than half a cup of vinegar, and we're going to just pour that in. Also, turn the heat off on your pot here. This should begin to curdle immediately. And you'll stir this for about 30 seconds until, actually you're not looking for anything, just about 30 seconds. And after about 30 seconds, we can now, you can see it's already starting to curdle up. It's sticking to my spoon here. Go ahead and swipe that off real quick. You can actually take a look inside. We've already got a big old chunk in here already forming. So now we're going to let this rest and cool off slowly. We're going to put a lid on this guy and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I've never done this before, and I'm trying this for the first time, and I'm taking you along for the ride as I am following the recipe. And we're going to find out how good it is to, how easy it is to follow this recipe here. From what I gathered on other YouTube videos, it might be helpful if you're using like a gas stove to have a cast iron or ceramic pot, one that holds heat a little bit better because it's got that thicker wall, as opposed to one like this one that is just a metal that will lose that heat more quickly. Luckily though, I have a induction burner or a coil heat burner, so it's got some residual heat sitting in there, keeping this generally warm. But we're gonna wait about 15 to 20 minutes and then we will be right back. All right, it has been about 15 to 20 minutes now. And while it is still warm, it has cooled a little bit. What we're going to do is, if you have the option, you can get some cheesecloth or a very thin dish towel. We have a decorative little dish towel that's pretty thin that we're going to use as our cheesecloth. Put that over a strainer and then on top of a bowl as well to catch all that. I do want to catch all of those drippings. That's called whey. So we're separating the curds and whey, if you've ever heard that nursery rhyme. So let's go ahead and just see if I can pour this cleanly. Like I said, never done it before. Looks like it's working. It's working! It's working! See if I can turn this so you guys can see what's happening here. Ooh. Hold my cheesecloth down. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. There it is. And it doesn't look like too much stuck in the pan there. So we're just going to scrape a little bit of that out of there. Don't want to lose cheese. I love my cheese. All right. And then pull our cheesecloth up and out. That is a cute little thing. Much less than I anticipated. They also recommend using gloves at this point, just because this is fairly hot. I'm going to dump all this way back into the pot. We're going to use this here again in a minute. All right. But just gently squeeze this guy, and it'll drip all of that leftover whey out there. Till eventually it's going to hold itself together enough that you can just squeeze with your hands. And that's where they're saying, hey, you're going to want gloves, because this is, a little over 100 degrees. And you can see I'm just squeezing it out. Ooh, make sure you keep your arms in a downward angle to keep it dripping off your hands like this. Heck, we could probably just drip it right over top of the pot here. Every once in a while, there's like a little squirt of the whey out of this guy. Let's see if I can use this any better. Oh yeah, this is way better. If you have a cheesecloth, this works way better. Look at that. It just drips right out. I can feel it just. And it's not spurting and splashing everywhere like you would if you use your hands. Mind you, using your hands on your own does work just fine. At this point, we have what's very similar to like ricotta. We're just going to keep pressing this, almost kneading it with your hands here, just to get all of that whey out. While I'm doing this, I'm going to start my next step, which is going to be reheating this guy. We want to get this up to about 170 degrees. So I'm just going to turn it on medium and get that start warming up, because we need to heat this back up until it reaches 165 or 160. You can also just place this in a microwave safe container and microwave it for about 30 seconds. I want to use the fancy method and reheat it in its own juices. Hopefully I'm doing this right. All right, I think I've got it to where it's not going to be leaching out too much more on me here. All right, we got this guy up to 170 degrees. We are now going to drop our cheese ball into our water mixture here to warm it up. We just need to get it up to 160 Fahrenheit. While that's warming up, I'm going to go ahead and get the next step ready, which is after we finish stretching this into a cheese, we're going to put it in a bowl of ice water. And so I'm going to just reuse this bowl and fill it with some ice. Okay, I see why they say you need gloves for this, because it is hot. It is hot, hot, hot. But they say to just stretch it, so I'm just going to dip my hands in ice water to keep them good. But this is really starting to look like mozzarella. Look at that. Oh, that took forever to heat up, though. I see why they say to use the microwave. But look how shiny that's getting. That is getting absolutely glossy. We're not tearing, we're just stretching at this point, and we're just folding it in on itself in the center here. Once you have this nice solid texture, it's cooled down just a little bit to be at the point of handleable, and you can see it's starting just starting to split when I go to pull it. Now, I think that's about as far as we're going to go. So I'm just going to try and make this into a nice ball. And that's the point when we place it into our water to cool. Oh, you know what? Also, if you want to amp this up a little bit, I know it's only 2 ingredients, vinegar, milk, great. If you want to increase the flavor, add a little salt. They say don't use iodized salt, so use some like flaky salt, some kosher salt, things like that. And they say to only add a 1/4 teaspoon, and this is the step at when you add the salt. Oh, I think I've overworked it now. Trying to work that salt in there. The recipe says to place it in cling film and throw it in the fridge. I can't get the cling film to stay together, so we're just going to throw it in the fridge or some ice water, and so we're just going to throw it straight into some water. And now we let that sit for about 10 minutes, and you will have cheese. Wow, I made a complete mess here. All right, so our cheese is now done. Just got to dry it off real quick, and let's see what our, what do you call that? Our gain, our net, or what we got out of 1/2 gallon of milk. We got our scale here, zero it out, and 5 ounces, 0 pounds, 5 ounces. So not even 1/2 pound out of 1/2 gallon of milk. But let's go ahead and slice it up and give it a taste. And to taste it with me, I have the Mrs. Come on in, Kate. We've all seen her in videos. I'm gonna slice a couple of pieces off of here. So I'll tell you, I forgot to salt it until the very end. You were supposed to incorporate it like 1/2 step before I did. And so these are unsalted mozzarella, which will probably be pretty plain. If you want, we have some salt right over here. But cheers. Actually, I'm gonna grab this little piece here.
Yep, it's unsalted.
We're real bland. Kind of rubbery. It's weird to, you want some salt? Salt helps. I wouldn't call it mozzarella though. No. Let's see if we can fix it though. I have prepared some toast, some basil, some sliced tomatoes. The middle is a little bit holy here. It's not perfect. I told you I don't know what I'm doing yet. So I may have over kneaded it. Do you want butter on your toast?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to butter my toast. All right. Kate's going to add a little bit of olive oil because she's fancy like that.
Basil and tomatoes. American?
Yeah. Yeah. This is like a knockoff mozzarella too. Yeah. So actually, I do like salt and pepper on my tomatoes, so I'm going to salt and pepper that too here. And a little extra. Got some fresh basil from the garden.
No tomatoes from the garden.
Tomatoes aren't from our garden, no. But the basil is. Basil came right from our garden. Do you want some more mozzarella, or are you just having that little bit?
I'll just have this little bit.
Okay. Oh, I forgot my basil.
You're going for broke.
I'm going all in. I got to commit to my own bit. We got some basil on our toast. Here we go. Cheers. It's way too firm. I think I over kneaded it. But the toast with the basil and tomato.
And the bland mozzarella, you couldn't taste anyways.
Yeah. Just adds a little extra texture at this point. I'm going to need more practice. Need to make sure I salt it. Make sure I don't over knead it.
It's a weird texture.
It squeaks in my mouth too. I would say I would do it again, but there's a lot of things I need to learn from this thing and try and try and try again until I get it right. Am I going to do that? I don't know.
Kind of an expensive hobby.
Yeah. How much was that bottle? Like $3.50?
Yeah, $3.20, but
yeah,
for
half a gallon to get 5 ounces of cheese. What does that work out? Like, that's just not quite worth it for us. Like if you have your own cows, maybe, yeah, make your own cheese, but you're probably already ingenuitive and know how to do this without vinegar. You probably use rennet, which is the proper way to make it. There you go. Let us know what you think. Have you tried making your own homemade mozzarella? Did you use rennet or something else? Or have you tried this vinegar and raw milk recipe? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
That's right. Check us out on all of our social media. It'll be listed right up here. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
That was bitter.